Hello guys, welcome in this new video. So in this video we will be discussing about some of the topics that we should know, and this will be a continuation to the graph topics which we were covering since some few last videos. So with no further delay, let's get started. So the first topic as of which we will be starting is the articulation points. So articulation point is basically a vertex that is in an undirected connected graph. So we can say a vertex to be an articulation point if we actually remove that vertex and the edges coming through it, then it will disconnect the graph. So these points basically represent the vulnerabilities in the graph, because failure of a single articulation point will result in like disconnecting the network in two or more components. So these are useful for designing reliable networks. Also, for a disconnected undirected graph, an articulation point can be seen as a vertex. If we remove that vertex, then it will increase the number of connected components. Okay, so for an example, you can see it here that in this graph, these 2 points are articulation points. Okay, so if let's say if you remove the 0th node and the edges coming from it, then this graph will be disconnected into subgraphs. And similarly, the 3 node, if we remove that, then also this graph will become a disconnected graph with having two subgraphs. Okay, so now coming to the bridges. So bridges are similar to articulation points, but the main difference is that and in here there is an edge, and in articulation point there is a vertex. So an edge in an undirected connected graph is a bridge if and only if removing it disconnects the graph. So it is similar to articulation point, so the difference remains in the edge deletion and the vertex deletion. Okay, also like articulation points, bridges represent vulnerabilities in the connected network, and they are basically also used for designing reliable networks. For example, in a real life scenario, let's say if we have a wired computer network, and if we say what is an articulation point, then it will represent the critical computers, and the bridge can indicate the critical wires or connections. So uh, we have to basically more focus on those particular computers and connected wires, such that they do not get harmed, or like they do not get faulted for the network to be functioning properly. Okay, so you can see that in an example, that this in this graph you can see that 0 to 3 is an edge, and 3 to 4 is an edge that can be said as a bridge, because deleting them would result into disconnected graphs. Okay, so now coming to our strongly connected components. So strongly connected components have been discussed by me in previous video as well, but just to recap it, I am again just telling what it is. So it always implies to a directed graph, because first of all the directed graph should be strongly connected. And what do you mean by strongly connected is that if there is a path between all pairs of vertices, then only we can say that the graph is a strongly connected graph. So now coming to the strongly connected components, so it is the maximal strongly connected subgraph of a strongly connected graph. Okay, so you can see that there are three strongly connected components here. This one, the this one, and the fourth node, this one. So this was it for this one, and you can use this Kosaraju's algorithm, that is Kosaraju's algorithm to find strongly connected component in the graph. So you can check this out as well, but I will not be discussing that in here. So now coming to the Hamiltonian cycle. So basically first we have to understand what is an Hamiltonian path. So Hamiltonian path is always in an undirected graph, that is a path that visits every vertex exactly once. So a Hamiltonian cycle or a Hamiltonian circuit is a Hamiltonian path such that there is an edge in the graph from last vertex to the first vertex of the Hamiltonian path. So this is simple to remember, because it's a path that visits every vertex exactly once, and if that last vertex has an edge to the first vertex in the Hamiltonian path, then it will become an Hamiltonian cycle. So now coming to the bi-connected graph. So basically as the strongly connected components, we had a strongly connected graph. Similar to that, biconnected components will be having biconnected graph as their parent thing to be there. Okay, so in an undirected graph, it can be called as biconnected if there are two vertex disjoint paths between any two vertices. So you can say that there can be two conditions uh, such that one is this: even after removing any vertex, the graph remains connected, and it should be a connected graph. So it means that it is possible to reach every vertex from every other vertex by a simple path. So this is a condition that has to be satisfied, and this one also to be satisfied. Okay, so for example, you can see that in this, by convention, we actually see these two vertices that are joined by a single edge to be biconnected graph. Okay, and in the below as well, you can see this graph to be biconnected, because if we remove, let's say, the 2 and 4 edge, then also this graph is actually a connected graph. Okay, and yeah, so these two conditions are satisfied. So that was a biconnected graph. Now coming to biconnected components, so similar to strongly connected components, biconnected components is a maximal biconnected subgraph, and it can also be found by John Hopcroft and Robert Tarzan. So similar as strongly connected components can be found by Kosaraju's algorithm, biconnected components can be found by John Hopcroft and Robert Tarzan algorithm, but we will not be discussing that here. Now coming to the Eulerian path and circuit for an undirected graph. So one thing to note is that it is similar to Hamiltonian cycle, and these both are applicable to the undirected graph. Okay, and similar to Hamiltonian path, there is Eulerian path, and in this, the graph that visits every edge exactly once is known as an Eulerian path. So similar to the Hamiltonian path, in that we had to visit the every vertex exactly once, but in this we have to visit every edge once in this Eulerian path. And Eulerian circuit is an Eulerian path that starts and ends on the same vertex. So it is somewhat similar to Hamiltonian cycle, where we had an edge that could connect the last vertex to the first vertex, but in this Eulerian circuit we have to actually end at the same vertex. Okay, and there are some conditions that should be followed, such that we can say that an undirected graph has a Eulerian cycle or Eulerian path. Okay, so you can see that for an Eulerian cycle there are these two conditions: that all vertices with non-zero degree are connected, and we don't care about vertices with 0 degrees because they don't belong to Eulerian cycle or path. Okay, and all the vertices have even degree, and also for an Eulerian path, the same condition for this was there will be considered here. And also the second is that if 0 two vertices have odd degree and all other vertices have even degree, then we can say that if a graph satisfied a path satisfies these two things, then it is an Eulerian path. And we must note that only one vertex with odd degree is not possible in an undirected graph, because sum of all degrees is always even in an undirected graph. Okay, now coming to this Kosaraju thing, that you can check this article as well, but I will not be discussing this because I don't think that will be required as of now for the exam. So this was it for today, and I hope you understood. So till the next video, keep learning and keep watching.